Hey, it's Jason from Lightning Plugins, and today I'm excited to talk about the new changes to Lightning CutLines. This is a now 2.0 version. It looks very similar, but under the hood, there's a bunch of new features that I'm pretty excited about. For those that don't know, Lightning CutLines is a plugin to easily create cut lines for files like big heads or stickers or anything that you need to create a vector cut path for, but now you can do it all in Photoshop with a few clicks without having to go to Illustrator and remember how to do it in there. The first change you'll see in version 2.0 is the preview. I'm going to just show you the old version. The preview looked something like this, and this pop-up popped up in your way, and you kind of had to move it out of the way, and it just kind of did a highlight of your cut area so you could see what they were. In the new version, I'm going to hide this. In the new version, I tried to make it a little more intuitive. So now it actually shows you basically what your final result is going to look like of what your big head or whatever you get cut out is going to look like. And now this gray color is something that in the settings you can change. So if you wanted to do your previews on this color, you could. The next feature is changes to the cutout mode. I have now a logo, and if I wanted to try and cut this logo out, and let's just change some of these settings just to kind of show you. This has a round thing at the top, and you see it's very bumpy, the results that we got here. Now, changing the path complexity can get you a better result, but you see it's still not perfect. And I'm currently in the standard mode using the vectorization tools that are kind of built into Photoshop. And no matter how much I tried tweaking them, there's only so good that I could get it. And it really only applies to graphics. Doing big heads and stuff, the standard mode is still going to give you the best results, most likely. But on graphics, we struggled. And I had in the settings, if you go to advanced mode, it will reveal this drop down here, and there is a high quality mode. In the previous versions, the high quality mode still was working with the Photoshop vectorization. It just tried to make it a little better, but it still wasn't as good as I wanted. So I basically redid the whole thing, and I'm using a custom vectorization for these high quality modes. And now you should see if I just use the same settings, but on high quality mode, is giving a much smoother result for things like graphics. And you can still, adjust your thresholds and see if something gives you a little better result. If you look here at these edges here, there's some kind of rounded corners. I'm in the high quality rounded mode. If you needed it to be squared, you could use the squared mode. And you see like at this corner here, it gives you much more squared corners and stuff. So for graphics, these new high quality modes are pretty amazing, and I'm pretty excited about it. The next thing is the registration dots. In the old version, the registration dots, and this is only if you're in the Signs 365 separate art and cut files mode, do you need to provide registration dots. But the old method, it would just put these registration dots around your image. And if you see like down here, this one is on top, and you would actually have to like grab this dot and move it and just double check your artwork to make sure that these dots didn't go over top of your artwork. However, the new version, the registration dots, is now smart. It tries to look at any layer that's either a cut layer or a bleed layer or an artwork layer and avoid those. So now if I hit registration dots, it'll also, if you press it, it'll update any dots that are there. If I press it, you see now it moved this dot and put these dots around. And if I just grab my artwork and say I move this over here and press registration dots again, you'll see it got rid of this one and put some down here. So it is now smart registration dots that try and avoid your artwork, which I think is pretty cool. And finally, in the settings, there are some options for guide distance. The default is 1/2 inch. For when you use this guides button, it puts these guides, but now you can, in the settings here, decide if for some reason you needed something different than the default. You could set that. And then also for the cut path naming, for in the export, most people in most software uses the standard cut contour naming format, but I had a few people request that they used a specific software that required a different naming. So now you can custom name the cut files that are in the export. Most people aren't going to mess with this. They're just going to be using one of these two modes and leaving it on default. But now that is an option if you are somebody who uses a non-standard software for your machines and you require a different cut name, you do have that option. And finally, in the license page, there is this new manage license link. Sometimes if you have a computer crash or just doing updates and stuff, you have a certain number of seats for the plugin and the software can get confused and maybe tell you that you've used up all your spots and you know that you haven't, and it just has seen the same computer and registered more than once, and maybe this deactivate isn't working. You can just press this manage licenses and it's going to ask to take you to our website, where we have a tutorial showing you how to update your licenses and manage things. And this button right here will take you directly to the page that lets you do that. And it's pretty easy to manage which computers you have activated for the plugin and stuff like that. So tried to make a lot of updates. Again, it looks very similar than the last one, but I think you'll see a lot of these changes under the hood really make things a lot better, and I'm pretty excited about it. And thank you to all my users for all your support. I see all the time people posting in Facebook and forums and stuff about how much they like the plugin, and it really helps me get sales. And I think there's still a lot of people out there that could get use from the plugin that don't know it exists. So anytime you guys post your success stories about it, it really helps me out. And I just wanted to say thank you.